Hey guys, welcome to season 2. We have a whole lot of stuff in store for you guys. We have a new set, new location, we have new people, we have segments on the show this come around. We have a whole bunch of stuff. Make sure you guys subscribe, make sure you guys follow, because especially on our Instagram, we have a whole bunch of new stuff coming up to you. We have the BFI room coming up, and please be on the lookout. Thank you, and bisous. Hey guys, welcome to Fanm Kreyol Takeover. I am your host, Karma with the C, and today we have lovely Ms.Phay. Please introduce
Greetings.
yourself.
Greetings. Yes, Fab C is my name. I go by Fab C, but my name is Fabienne Claude. I am Haitian.
Yes,
Fabienne Claude.
right. So, where are you originally from?
I actually was born in the United States. I was born in New York, raised in Miami, but very much raised with my culture. So I was able to connect with my culture. And as I grew older, getting into more wisdom and knowledge and history
Right.
and connecting to Africa, I also connected the vibration back to my roots, which is IET, and connecting the history and speaking about the history since.
Okay, so I don't know what topic to touch on first because you are a producer, a creative director, a public speaker. The list just goes on. So, uh, let's talk about you being a creative director. How did that come about? What projects have you worked on? Matter of fact, no. What did you start on first?
What did I start on first? I was 20 years old when I opened up my first company, and it was called Soul Models. And I had fashion shows, and I produced and created fashion shows with different designers and different makeup artists, and had these different types of like themes for this art, art infested, I would say, fashion about 10 years ago. And I started from there, and then I became more into producing. I went to the Art Institute, Miami International University, and I got more into producing. And within producing, I fell in love with that whole connection with that, and I started being more connected into doing special events. And doing special events, I started loving charity. I started loving people. I started loving grassroots. I started loving just being able to bring people together for a purpose. So all of that kind of, I don't know if I
It just like
answered the question.
manifested and
Yeah,
just
yeah.
flowed into. Okay, so I mean, growing up, what did you always want to be originally? Was it like a fashion designer? Was it like into fashion? Was it more into that, and then just manifested and became its own thing?
That's interesting because I was just talking about that with a friend of mine. When I was young, under 10, I remember saying, when I grow up, I'm going to cut my hair off and be natural and wear natural skin products. And this is the 80s,
Right.
and I'm talking like this. So I just realized that this is what I was saying under 10 years old. I was connected with Set It Off,
Right.
and the movie Set It Off, and Jada Pinkett had her hair cut short. So
Right.
that's how I envisioned myself, which eventually I did do that. And I started loving the whole natural movement later on. And then later on I connected, oh yeah, I used to say that when I was young, so yeah, that. And then I was always like wanting to be an entrepreneur. I never really felt like working for others versus creating my own thing and creating jobs and creating opportunity for other people.
Right.
Yeah.
So the whole, creative directing thing, was it like did it just fall in your lap, or was it just a door that just opened? You're like, you know what, I'm just gonna do this, or was it like a thought that came up like later in high school or early college?
Yeah, it was a thought in college. It was a
Okay.
thought in college, and I wrote down all the names. I was already in Miami, South Beach. I was already like doing things
Yeah,
and
you was
being
already in the
like,
environment.
yeah, in the scene. So I wrote down all the names of the people. I was 19, and I wrote down all the names of the people that would help me in manifesting this dream.
Mm.
And by 20, it went into fruition. And then, I never looked back since.
So what with that project, what do you do now with it? Are there anything you're currently working on?
Oh
What is
yeah, I opened up my company. It's called Go Green Fashionista, and I focus on holistic movement altogether. So I talk about environmental awareness, I talk about eco-friendly movements, holistic living, and eco-friendly fashion, because I started off as
right?
a fashion show producer. So a lot of people think that I'm a fashion designer. I'm not. What I would do is I would bring people together. I would bring the designers together, the makeup artists, the models, and produce this entire
Okay.
fashion show and bring it to life.
Okay. Okay. And you are a yoga, a
I am
yoga, I
now.
say yoga, a yoga
Yoga,
instructor.
yeah.
I said
I've been
yoga.
teaching for 8 years now, 2019. For 8 years now, I've been teaching, and that opened up a whole new door because I think we create things without knowing until later.
Right.
It was destined. So Go Green Fashionista was destined for that name because now I am truly eco, and I focus a lot on being healthy and fitness. So yeah, I started teaching yoga. I got certified 8 years ago, and I started teaching yoga. And I have been teaching ever since. I mean, it's flourished from as soon as I got my certification. I started teaching. I taught in Haiti. I did teach in Jamaica and Guatemala, in different places where I focus on yoga and meditation. So my practice is called Ancient Healing and Awakening. And I wake up the divine self in us, like the true essence of who we are, like that inner being that's like hidden in. Some people should have their light bright. And a lot of people these days, because of the chaos, they're like, kind of, yeah, shutting it down. So that I know we talked about chakras too. So they're shutting down their chakras and all that stuff. So I bring that out. It's like it's always within you. I just bring it out and remind you of that.
Okay, so I also asked you earlier, did you read auras and chakras and everything like that? And you told me you did. What was it again?
Intuitive readings.
Right. Could you talk more into that? Like, what's the steps? Because you told me it's like an hour-long process.
Well, it's a session. It's yoga and meditation. It starts off with the yoga and meditation, but it's 3 different positions. You're sitting in lotus, which I like to let people say that you can envision whatever flower, whatever tree, plant you are. You don't have to be a lotus, but you are rooted to the earth. You're laying flat on your stomach where you're now heart-to-heart connection, womb-to-womb connection to the earth. And then you're laying on your back where you're a third eye connection, heart to a most high connection. And so within those, you're open. And within those open, we call ourselves vessels. They say God uses you
Right.
through, it's the same thing as vice versa. So now there's messages, right? That now I can feel through your energy and I can tell you. So it's purposeful. So everything is to find your purpose. So I've been blessed with finding out my purpose and my purpose to find other people's purposes.
That's like,
Yeah.
it's just okay. How did you get into that? Like, how
Because
did
it's
you
on
know?
me.
Because some people know, or it's easier for them to know their calling or find their calling.
Mhm.
So something that's like that more complex is like, how do you know that? Like, how did you know that was your calling? How did you get into that?
I think how people say when you lose everything, that's when you like, yeah, and it was like that pivotal moment in my life where I felt like I lost everything. I lost, the people who I felt like would be on my side. They're
Hmm.
not there anymore. My friends, relationships, everything just was falling. And one day I went to go visit a friend and we're hanging out and laughing. It's a whole bunch of us. And he turned on the TV and it was something about African history and
Okay.
stuff like that, and he's like, watch it. And I'm like, no, put on BT. I don't want to see this. And he was like, no, watch it. I watched it and I never looked back. I watched it. I stopped perming my hair. I stopped, this was about 10 years ago. Yeah. So I became more into finding out who we are. And it's true, when you know yourself, when you find out who you are, you're stronger in your movements, in your journey. So it was just like, what, being African is power like that.
Right.
And then now finding out the Haitian culture,
Yeah.
it be who we are, from Creole, who we are. And it's funny because I talk about how Fanm Kreyol is actually broad. It's not just in Haiti,
Yeah.
because the whole Lesser Antilles speaks Creole. So we can broaden that energy to the Guadeloupans, the Martinique, the people who are in Martinique. I don't know if I went off subject a little bit,
No,
if
no,
I
you're
did,
fine. You're fine.
but yeah. So I started finding out who we are and what the Haitian Revolution did for us. And then I started reading more and connecting more. And then I fully got connected with Jean-Jacques Dessalines.
How long ago would you say that you fully got connected? Like that's when it hit you. Like this is our people. This
Oh,
I'm
it's
here
been a
for it.
few years,
Okay.
but to get connected with Dessalines and what he stood for, as our people, as the fight that we went through for 14 years
Mhm.
in order to establish where we are free now, the whole world can touch this land as African descent
Mhm.
and call yourself Haitian. I connected with that like a year now.
Okay.
I'm more connected to, like, but I was already connected to the history. I was already speaking about the history of IET, but doing this, speaking out more, I have to read more. I have to connect more. I have to, so I just, the history is very important in order for us to connect to now. So I truly believe that we are our spiritual ancestors now.
Okay.
The energy now. This is why we can do at our age,
Right.
doing these things and speaking out and showing the power of IET and how beautiful we are as a people. We're doing this in this generation,
Right.
because they were doing it back then.
Right. So now let me just highlight the word connected, because when you said it, I just fell in love with it. Some people may say that they're Haitian, but aren't connected to the roots of Haiti, or know the background or know the history, and actually like went and researched the knowledge themselves. Some people heard, oh yeah, this is why we drink soup jomu on the first. This is why, they hear that, so they go along with it. But it's a difference from hearing it and just following it, and actually like going and doing the research and knowing what happens and knowing why exactly. So like when you said connected, yeah, it's like a lot of us do need to get connected. It's like, it's one thing to just wave the flag and say I'm Haitian, and another thing to just like actually fall in love with where we come from. So I just wanted to say that.
Yeah.
So both your parents are Haitians,
Yes,
right?
they are.
So how do they feel?
Oh my God, my mom, she's like, I don't understand why you love Haiti so much. You're not even Haitian. I'm like, don't say that, mama. And like, it's because, I mean, she loves it too at the same time. We're all like that. I have a twin sister and my brother. Yeah, we're all like that. But I became more vocal in speaking about who we are as a people. I became more vocal speaking about the history and the current events.
Okay, so I don't know if this is how it is in your family, so I have to ask you, what dreams did she have for you when you were younger? Was it like, what career goal, what career path did she want you to?
We already know, lawyer or doctor.
Super doctor.
I know.
Super avocat. You not doing nothing with your life. It doesn't matter if you're successful right now.
Lawyer. My mom, she's always like, I thought you would be a lawyer. I'm like, but I'm speaking for our people. I'm being an advocate.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So does she support you now all the way, or is it like still a little bit of, you still have a chance to go back to school, and like how?
No, most definitely she supports everything I'm doing. I think there's still that like thin line between like understanding, not maybe overstanding too much, but just taking in, because it's been a while, and she sees the growth in being able to connect to us. It's us right now. It's the power of us right now. We are awakening that.
Right now.
Yeah, we are. We've always been.
But you know what? Okay, like I think I'm gonna try to use this metaphor. Okay, so you know how there's like a whole bunch of stars in the sky, right? Bright stars, but we're not able to see it because there's like so much lights and city lights and everything. So you're not able to see the stars. So I guess us being the stars, I guess we realize where we stand, where we're supposed to be, that we can't fit in with the city lights. That's not us. So we're lights ourselves, so we can shine. So we have to like step away and go to our place, our zone, and just like brighten the earth by that. Does that make sense?
We've been brightening the earth, and that's very important that you said. That's beautiful that you said that, actually, because at a time where they know the story, 1492, Christopher Columbus came in, and on the so that's almost 400 years where it was darkness, where African people were in slavery. So if you were born in that midpoint, you didn't know what freedom was.
Right.
So Dessalines and Toussaint changed that in 1804 and brought light to us, brought light to the world. You know what I mean? At a time of disparity for so long. So we have been opening and breaking barriers. We're still breaking barriers, even with the language, the Haitian Creole language. They speak Creole in so many different parts of the Antilles, but it's the Haitian Creole that is an official language. And that, and it is also the Haitian Creole that is spoken all over the world. The number one Creole that is spoken all over the world. You can look it up. Look it up, family. Look it up, because it's very important. This is the power of information. We're in the age of Aquarius right now. You can find this information, and you can really seek and feel the vibration of where we come from, because we're living proof that we're resilient.
Right. So I know you're also a published writer as well, and you have an article called "Yoga for the Brain."
Yoga for the Brain.
What was the magazine's name again? If you want
Healthy Magazine.
Okay. So could you tell us how you got into writing, or have you ever actually started writing about our culture? Because I know you have the knowledge, like you know a lot about it, more than most of us do. So like, have you written anything about the culture or anything?
Of
Yeah.
course, of course. I actually Higher Frequency Global is a new station that I'm. It's an online radio that we're starting next month, and my show is called the Diaspora Mix because I'm a diaspora, right? They tell us that, but really the diaspora means all African nations outside of Africa, which includes Haiti. So within that, I talk about the connection of Haiti and wait, is that? Is that the
I mean,
question?
I was talking about you as a published writer in
Yeah.
general.
Oh yeah,
So go
because
ahead.
okay, good, yeah. And then so, the reason why I said that is because I haven't written about it, but I do talk about it. I haven't written about it yet. And for Healthy Magazine, I write every month. I write an article about it every month. I did just bring one article where it's called Yoga for the Brain, and I talk about how doing yoga does connect, spiritually with the brain. And his Imperial Majesty, because I connect myself to Rastafarian, His Imperial Majesty's speech and a lot of the things that he says that has to do with healing humanity, I often mention in
Okay.
in in, in
Okay.
my articles.
So you being a public speaker, how do you go with that? What do you do with that? What message do you pass on to others?
Inspiration, motivation, finding your purpose.
Okay. And also, Udezi Mutial IT, right?
Yes.
And you told me that you did yoga classes there and everything there. Knowing that
Nous besoin parler créole. Okay, sorry. I know. You listen. Ma parler créole avec vous, okay? Avec nous. Okay.
So knowing that Haiti, they're not really open minded to new things. So um how is it, bringing yoga to Haiti, and how is it with the people like how's the experience?
Phenomenal. A lot of people are doing yoga in Haiti.
Cool.
I have a good friend, Ama Makeda. She's a yogi and artist, and she's doing great in IET right now, teaching yoga. When I taught yoga, it was a full class. I mean, it's not necessarily us that's going, and that needs to change. Because we need to remember that it is our steps, it is our movements that we were doing in ancient indigenous
Right.
times. But yeah, it's great. I'm vegan, so going over there was hard. They either thought I was being disrespectful or thought that like I was too good or whatever the case is. But this is just how I eat. I haven't eaten meat in over 8 years now, 9 years now, and so it's just the way as how I am.
Bon, moi, de question ça. Because I know
Moi pas
I
manger viande et puis moi faire soupe jumeau on January 1st without the viande.
because I'm like I said because you said vegan, so I know vegan is way more past just meat. It's like animal products. Period. You don't touch or mess with. So let me monter the vegans. I know that's not even a word in Creole. Is it a word in Creole? I don't think that's a word in Creole. So when you said I'm a vegan now, I'm pretty sure she said, "Huh? Sounds even like what
You're
vegan?"
trying to be sexy. You think you're trying to be
Right.
sexy. I'm like, no, mommy, no.
So I know there are vegan Haitians. I know some, but how do you guys cook? Like, do you eat Haitian meals? How do you guys?
I do. That's very funny that you asked because I love who I am so much. I still stay connected to that. So a lot of events that I do, if I highlight the culture, I do have chefs come in to cook Haitian food, but it's vegan. So even for my birthday party, I had a whole Haitian dinner, and it was all vegan. So instead of the pork for the griot, they used jackfruit and stuff like that. So it was yeah, it was good.
Please.
There's
name me
There's
5.
Haitian vegan restaurants around here too.
I know one. I can't think of the name right now, but I know one. Please name me like 5 dishes that you can make vegan.
All of them. Griot, because
what
you're
you
not because
eating?
you're substituting the pork for the jackfruit.
Okay, so is it like fried?
It's fried. It's everything. You make it the same way. It's just not pork. And jackfruit has like this meaty taste, so that's the substitute, right? So the mac and cheese, you could just use a different type of cheese or vegan cheese that's not used with milk.
Okay.
Yeah. What else?
Does it taste the same?
It does taste the same depending on who makes it. I've been places where it doesn't taste the same, but these past couple times I've been pretty impressed, and I've mastered Yeah, I'm gonna say I've mastered
You
my
know
soup
what? I'm
jumeau.
finna have to like
You need to
fly to
have some
your
of my
house,
soup jumeau. Yeah,
right?
my
'Cause
soup jumeau is on
I'm
point.
not convinced. 'Cause I feel like every Haitian dish has to have viand on the plate, and it's like with most Haitians, I'm not gonna say all. If you don't have the viand, they feel like they didn't eat nothing. So that's
Yeah,
I'm like, how
that's my grandma.
you don't eat fish either. So okay. Yeah, we finna have to sit down. You
Yeah.
finna have to give me like a. I'm open to try it, but it's just if it tastes the same, I'm all here for it. If it's not, I'm ain't it,
Yeah.
ain't it. But like, what made you go vegan though?
Um, just watching animals, just connecting
Right.
with
Okay.
just humanity.
Okay. So, no te lever. Did your parents go by the la calle con l'église rule, or were you guys
L'église,
more?
yes.
So it wasn't as strict.
L'école, yes, and I did finish school.
So, but like, was it? You can't go out with your friends. I don't see you to go out. I didn't make you to go out. It's either you go to church, you go to school, or you stay home, but you're not going out with your friends. You're not doing that. Was it like more of a conservative household, or was it like your mom let you spread your wings and explore it and figure who you were then?
She most definitely let me spread my wings, our wings, because it's three of us. So yeah, she most definitely. But there was still that,
Mhm.
Haitian parent rule. So nous tout aller l'école, nous tout aller l'église. But when I grew up and started finding more of spirituality, which I know that's our topic,
Mhm.
religion, I rebelled out of it. You know,
Now that you bring up religion, I know for most people who are really, really into yoga, um, there's a religion that goes hand in hand with it. So what is your religion?
my religion is spirituality, I guess I should say. I guess that's a proper answer to say.
Hmm.
And Rastafari,
Okay, yeah, you did
I
say
should
that.
say Rastafari is the first thing I should have said, but spirituality really, because right now, no, it was good that I said spirituality first, because right now we're in the spiritual movement. This is a spiritual revolution that we're in. So it is spirituality. In the, I always say that there's a balance between spiritual and physical. So in my physical journey, Rastafari is my religion. And that's my religion. A lot of people say it's a way of life. A lot of people consider their religions as a way of life, which it is in some point, but it does end up being religion because there are rules
Hmm.
to it. Yeah, so there's spirituality ultimately is the base of it. So I think people should have a sense of religion, whatever religion you are, because you then get connected to spiritual. It's like a child to spirituality.
Hmm. Okay, so some people may not understand Rastafarian,
Okay.
so go a little bit in depth, or just go a little bit in
Yes, yes, yes.
depth.
And it's good because it gets so touchy talking about it avec haïtien parce que yo parle tande Rastafari, yo parle to yo pense, the locks is not, what it is. But it is actually positive. Everything is positive, and so it's more connected to the Bible, just like to haïtien, we love the Bible. So it is more connected to the Bible, and the only difference is that the Bible is like a history book. So within this history book, there is prophecy and there is history. So let's start off with the history. So you're starting off with the history, reading this book
Hmm.
that was written over 2,000 years ago. And in this book, if you don't believe in this book, you believe in science, you can see that this really happened,
Right, right, right.
right? So now you read further and you read more and you see that the prophecy here, you common sense could tell you you're living it now and you're seeing, yo, this is revelation. Things are being revealed. This is what's happening right now. So you're seeing that this book is real. So I say all that to say, in this book, it says, look to the east. And to the east,
Hmm.
it's going to be this crowning of a king. Um, and look to him as this is a sort of savior
Right,
to
right.
to this new age, and look to see what he has done in this world while he's walking in this physical you know and so that's where you're connected to. So a lot of people connect to him, a lot of people connect to other, or where they call him a prophet or whatever. We as Rastafarians see him as the one where really really put a stable to new age spirituality.
Okay. So would you say you're like the rebel of the family.
Oh yeah,
Because
1000%.
I know, because the way you see the Bible, that's not how my family see the
Of
Bible. So I'm not
course.
going to say all Haitians. I'm not going to make that general, but I'm using my family for instance. As Haitians, they're more contradicting.
Of course.
I say, they take some things that they agree with in the Bible and they push that, but then the other stuff, the history, the true words or the meanings, like, being natural or doing this or that, they just forget all that,
Yeah.
So the fact that you're actually, actually going by the book, all the way by the book, come up they may come off as confused, like, what?
Everybody has different interpretations.
Right.
Yeah.
So
of the
like,
Bible.
how did your family like come about when you say, yeah, I have my dreads because I'm a, Rastafarian, and I'm into this, I'm into that. Like, how did they feel about it?
I mean, I don't even think they really still are really like, you know what I mean? But sometimes I want to speak up and say, it's unfortunate because if you even listen to the music I listen to, it's all positive. Everything I do is positive. It's different. I don't drink. I focus on like just ultimate good vibrations all the time.
Mhm.
And speaking of wisdom, history, all of that falls into the movement of Rastafari. So it's just a lack of understanding. That's it. When you don't, it's just like the Muslim. If I chose to be Muslim, it would be the same thing because I'm not choosing to be Catholic. But there is still like in that ease of like, okay, that's just you. So, all right.
They just let you go.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for that part. So thank you for staying tuned and staying in with us. We're going to go on a brief break and we'll get right back to you guys. Bisous. We are back here on Fanm Kreyol Takeover. I am your host, Carmen with the C, and we are here with Ms.Phay C. So we were just talking about relationships. How do you feel like being an entrepreneur, and living that lifestyle and doing your thing? How do you feel like that flows with finding that person or finding your mate? I guess.
Ooh. Because we love our business. I think people who are entrepreneurs love your business so much. So that is very important, the relationship part, the relationship aspect of it. Balance, support. That's it, really. Balance and support of each other. And that will flourish any relationship and manifest anybody's what they're doing. It'll just manifest because I do believe in balance. So man and woman balance, that equal connection.
Okay, so I'm gonna get a little bit more personal if it's okay. When you go on a date with somebody, like, is the first or second, maybe third, fourth thing that you do, is it like reading them or
So funny.
like, do you like, hey, look, you're cool and all, but we have to do this.
Okay, so it's not like psychic or anything, right? It's not like that. It's open hearted. Like if their energy is open, and I always said that I feel like anybody could do it. I just tapped into it and accepted it. So now it's like heightened, where it's just like, I could kind of feel you out and see, some people are open. If they're not open to it, then I can't. It's just like a block. And then others are just like, and I could just go in. Some people are just like, and I could just be like, yo, you're like da 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 da, and they're like, oh my god, that's me, and I'm like, thanks for the confirmation, because again, I'm not psychic. It's just vessel, like energy reading messages coming through.
Right. So if a guy were to say no, I'm not into that, is it like, okay, yeah, we're done dating, or is it like okay, you know what, I'll maybe try again later on in the future? Like, how would you go
I'm
about
not around people who aren't into that.
that? Hint, hint.
I mean, you surround yourself. So I'm surrounded, I'm around people who are into that elevation to even sit in front of me,
Right, right,
to
right,
even have that first
right,
step.
right. Yo. So okay, okay, I get it. By the way, I would love for you to read
Yeah.
me, just to let you know. I want to see what's really, and you know how some people like they're so busy, or they clutter their stuff themselves with like so much project and so much stuff where they kind of lose themselves into
Oh
what
yeah.
they're doing. So they it's like a you need a constant reminder who you are,
Oh yeah.
or I think I've forgotten myself to the point where it's like I have so much stuff going. I'm a model here, I'm an actress here, I'm a host here, I'm this that.
Hmm.
But it's like, who's Carmen? Like, who's
Yeah.
me?
Yes. Yes.
So I would love
Exactly.
for us to sit
Yeah.
down and
That's
do
a
a
moment
session.
for stillness.
Right, right, right.
Awareness of self.
Right. So I feel like every entrepreneur, every woman, female entrepreneur should actually go through that, because
Most
especially as
definitely.
females, we're holding on a lot of roles.
Hmm.
Not just entrepreneurs, sisters, mothers, the caregivers. And most of us nowadays are the what's the word I'm looking for? Uh
Nurturers.
Nurturers, but it's another word I was looking for, and I cannot. The bread giver.
Oh,
Most
okay.
of us
The
nowadays are
breadwinners.
the bread.
The
Is it bread?
breadwinners.
The
Yeah, there's
breadwinners. That's
breadwinners.
the word I was going to change that. But yeah, so for women especially, and we have a whole lot of emotions to that's on our backs on top of that. So and I feel like
Yeah.
depression, some depressions, that's actually where it comes from. Having all the stuff that we do covering us is like dirt, just constantly just covering us, like all the projects, all the emotions, everything's covering us, where we lose ourselves, and then we end
Mhm.
up waking up
Mhm.
into like a dark place and not knowing why we're in this dark
Or
place.
how you got there,
Right.
or when you got there.
Right, exactly. And it's because we kind of lost ourselves,
Yeah.
in within all the stuff that we are doing. So it is important to get into that. Actually, shout yourself out. Let us know, like, where we can find you, your websites,
Yeah,
everything.
Fab C Evolution, Go Green Fashionista, my company, everything Go Green Fashionista, and gogreenfashionista.com. You can read about it. You can even sign up for your classes right there on the spot. You could just like, the
Hmm.
schedule is right there. You just click the button and I get the memo, and then we take it from there.
Okay, so do you do your reads like for yourself? Do you do it on yourself, or you have somebody else that you trust to do it?
I don't always get lucky finding people to like, read. I always say, who heals the healer, because I'm in that position of like, in that position of healing, and always like helping. So it's like the person who does that, I don't always find that person, but there's moments that I run into them and I'm like, oh my God, thank you. I needed that. I needed that confirmation. I
Hmm.
needed those word sounds. So thank you.
Okay, okay. So when you are down and you feel like you wake up and it's like, yeah, I can't do this today, I can't do this right now, what is it that you do that may push you? Like, is it a song, music, an artist, or um you and your spirituality, like what is it that you do?
It's most definitely music, but also I know that mind is over matter, and a lot of times mentally you can kind of overbear yourself through your mind.
Hmm.
So because of the line of work I do, I just kind of keep myself focused. Okay, no depression vibe, just like make it happen, because life is always up and
Right.
down.
Good vibes only, good vibes only.
Yeah.
Please, again, let us know your Instagram, your email, your websites one more time for the people that did not hear it in the
Yeah,
back.
Instagram is Go Green Fashionista. My website, gogreenfashionista.com. My email, love at
We will
gogreenfashionista.com.
have it all written down there. And also, shout out to Valmas Cremas.
Yes.
Okay. Shout out to my new um stylist, Ms.Phay. You guys go to Ms.Phay's closet. All the vintage wear, all the vintage clothing, everything I have on is from Ms.Phay. You see this piece right here?
Nice.
Ms.Phay's closet, okay?
Hey.
So thank you guys. Everything will be listed down below. Lux Media, Bellafum Inc. You guys to follow me at I am Karma _ and that is Karma with the C. And thank you guys, and come back again. Bisous.